Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Toy Shop on today's episode of Arrivals, Delays, Pre-Orders, and What's Coming. We're going to change the format of this episode. Why? Because of Toy Fair. And since Toy Fair was officially canceled this year, companies are just dropping their reveals on social media. So we're going to spend this specific episode talking about what companies had to offer. So let's get started with Hot Toys. So far, they have not had a lot to show. However, this one thing that they showed was actually brought up by yours truly. This reporter said in a video about a week ago that, this is what I said. But I'm talking about the DeLorean. And we've actually seen some images of the DeLorean. Hot Toys showed a different version from the original years ago. And more recently, with some of the promotional images, we see this version. What I'm hoping is that Hot Toys decides to do a standard and a deluxe version. Standard version just being that of the original. The deluxe, you'll be able to replicate some of the scenes, switch out the wheels, have the floating wheels, different accessories so that you can replicate the way the DeLorean looked in all three movies. So very hyped for this reveal. This is actually beyond reveal because it's a full pre-order. So with the DeLorean, you will be getting, or you'll be able to actually display it in its normal version, or you will be able to display it how it looked in Back to the Future 2 with the wheels turned at the bottom. At this time, I am unsure if we are getting separate wheels, how that's going to work. I don't care. All of the stuff will be in a box one way or the other. So happy to have this. If you're interested in picking this up like I am, it will cost you $825 and it is scheduled to ship May through July of 2023. Yeah, I think I'm going to buy 2 of these, especially for what people were asking for in the aftermarket for this. So jumping over to Mezco, which I was not expecting to see much of. Typically when it comes to shows such as this, Mezco offering is usually disappointing. I do have to admit this time around, they did show more of that 1/12 scale Mezco figures. Maybe excited for 1 of 2 figures, so let's go through them. So they showed the Batman from the new Batman movie. Not a lot that was shown here. You really don't get to see the entirety of the figure. Quick image. We know that more images will come at a later time. When that time will be, we don't know. After all, we're still waiting on the Power Rangers that they revealed months ago. We still have no updated information on that. We also showed Snake Eyes from their G.I. Joe line. And let me tell you where I am with the G.I. Joe line. I'm not really impressed. The reason that I'm not impressed, we're not seeing new figures from Mezco. With Super 7, they got an opportunity to show us some characters before Hasbro did. And they're really focusing on the way that they looked in the cartoon. So for those figures, I'm excited. But for the Mezco figures, it's like, yeah, we already have Destro. We already have Roadblock. And now we're getting a Snake Eyes. And Snake Eyes is one of those characters from the G.I. Joe classified line that we actually have a few versions of already. So while some people may be hyped for this, I am not as hyped. I do have to admit for the Storm Shadow, which they gave a teaser just showing really a headshot and a little bit of the upper torso. I'm pretty hyped for this one, as this was my favorite character in the entirety of the G.I. Joe series. We also got a Spider-Man, nothing new here. We have several Spider-Mans from Mezco, but what's important is the Green Goblin that's looming in the back. Just looking at this image, the pajamas seem to be made, the trunks seem to be made out of that same material that Magneto had. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I wish that they would have showed the Green Goblin, talked more about that versus Spider-Man, but at some point we'll have images, so on and so on. We also finally saw the Robin from their DC line, and I know a lot of people are hyped about this one. Me too. I definitely can use a Robin. This is probably one that I will be picking up for sure. As usually with the Mezco, I'm sort of in with their DC. I have really moved away from the other stuff that they're offering. And last but not least, at least at this time, they actually showed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures. This was a complete surprise. While there are the Mezco people who may be hype about this, I'm not one of them. I am ecstatic on what NECA is doing with it. I really don't need another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. It really has to be something in this to make me get these figures, and I already know that they're going to be priced way higher than what NECA is selling. I know for sure Mezco is going to kill the accessories. So if I can find a way to get the accessories without the figure, I will pick that up. At this time, for all of the figures that I have talked about, there is no pricing nor release dates for any of these items. So, jumping over to Storm Collectibles. Woo, Storm, I'm hoping for a good year in 2022. And when I say that, I'm talking about mini action figures. Come on, we need to get about 15 figures out, and I'm not talking about repaints. So, we finally seen the full painted, I think they're beyond prototype for Blue Mary King of Fighters. And I have to say, with the arms, I'm not too thrilled on how the arms look. Also, with her shirt, it looks like it's painted rather than being sculpted, but this can certainly just be the images that we're seeing. Once more images become available, we'll be able to tell. So happy to have a female character in the lineup. Just think that we could have some tightening around what we're seeing in this image. So the next character that we saw, oh my goodness, is Liu Kang, fully painted. And I believe this is the Mortal Kombat 3 version. Unfortunately, we only get to see really the upper part of Liu Kang. I would really like to see the entirety of the body, and it still has a pending approval. This scares me. Does this mean we're going to have to wait another year for Liu Kang? Just approve the thing already. I feel like it's taking so long to get this character. I'm willing to accept the imperfections. I'm going to absolutely talk about it in the video, but I just want a Liu Kang figure. Come on, Storm. You need to find a way to get this to us in 2022. And from their Tekken line, which they're picking up some speed, we finally see a fully painted Paul Phoenix, looking fantastic, really reminding me of Ken and that gi. The only thing here, just like Liu Kang, it says pending approval. So even though these figures appear to be done, it's still waiting for approval. And who knows, that can simply be a call or email saying approved. It could be a quick process. I really hope it's a quick process, as I want to add this figure to my lineup. So moving over to Guilty Gear, property I'm not too familiar with, though I believe I've played this before. We finally have fully painted version of Soul. And again, it says pending approval, but I feel that they've been working on this for so long that this has to be about done, almost, maybe. Being I don't know this particular character so well, I can't really speak about the imperfections in the picture or not. Character looks pretty cool. At this time, no information when it's coming to release. And moving to a property that I just did a video about, where I was asking, is Storm still working on that? And it is Gears of War. And we see Dominique Santiago looking very good. Unsure if this is a unpainted prototype or render at this time. But Dominique looks vastly different from Cole as well as Marcus. At this time, no information on the figure. And we also get, if I remember the name correct, I think it's Mira. Anyway, the Locust Queen. Woohoo! I did not think that we would be getting this figure, particularly now. Pretty hyped about this. Hoping that these figures come out in 2022. If so, if we're looking at these 6 images and they're going to release this year, Storm has a pretty good lineup already set up for the first quarter. So let's go, Storm. Pump out some more figures, way to go. And I'm hoping we see some more teasers, releases, or images over the course of the next few days. As I think in Hong Kong, maybe somewhere in Asia, there is a convention taking place later on this week. So jumping over to Diamond Select, sadly, I only have one thing to mention, and that is their Marvel Select Vision, which looks fantastic. This thing is fully painted, comes with several accessories. Diamond Select knows how to kill certain figures, and man, this is one that they did a fantastic job for. So while I do stay away from some of the Diamond Select figures, I will be picking up this Vision, unless it's just immensely too tall. I nearly forgot about Hasbro, almost skipped right over them. So let's talk about Hasbro that had a fan fest on February the 21st. pretty decent amount of new figures that they showed. So let's go ahead and run through these figures quickly. So we will be getting a new Spider-Man, no surprise there, from the Future Foundation. I believe this is his stealth suit. I don't recall if they mentioned when that figure will be releasing. Pricing will be at $25. And we also saw Storm from the X-Men animated series, done in that shell shade. You know, it's just, I want Morph. And just looking at the other characters, it's like, yeah, okay, it's a figure that we have before that's just been repainted. So for those who are interested in Storm, here she is. So one character that I know a lot of people have been waiting for, that's the Rhino. That will be on that Spider-Man retro card. I already have the one that released some years ago. Probably will pick this one up. Pretty cool figure. One of those big guys to have in your lineup. At this time, I don't think they mentioned the pricing or release date. I think it will be priced accordingly to Kingpin. However, given that prices has risen a few dollars, you probably can add an additional $3 to what you paid to Kingpin. And we see our first images of Ultron from the What If series, which will be a Build-A-Figure. Very rare that Hasbro or Marvel team shows the Build-A-Figure first. Ultron is looking pretty good. Don't know all of the characters that will be in there. They did mention that the Kate Bishop and Hawkeye from the Disney series, those will be two characters. We'll have to wait to see what other characters will be released in this wave. And to end things, we'll talk about a wave that will be coming out, having a few characters. One will be Blue Marvel. However, in his modern form, I'm not a fan of this costume. If this was going to be the first time that we've gotten Blue Marvel, it really should have been in his classic outfit. I think a lot of people will be disappointed in the version that they gave us, but this is what the Hasbro Marvel Legend team, what they do. They give you the modern version of the character or the uniform that's worn first that most people don't care for, to get you to buy that, and then they switch it around years later and then gives you the version that you want. So I'm on the fence if I'm going to actually pick up this guy. We also get an Iron Man, a new Iron Man with all pinless joints. Looks pretty cool, but at this point it's like, do you really need another Marvel Legends Iron Man? You get Speedball, which a lot of people have been looking for, including myself, which looks great. Love that you can actually see the eyes underneath the goggles. We get a Madam Hydra. I have that first one. Ooh, that was a ugly chick. That was a bad looking action figure. This one improves on the head sculpt. Still very plain Jane. We'll see if I'll be picking up this one. We also get a U.S. agent. Not sure if I need U.S. agent. Don't know about this one either, though I know some people will be hyped for this. Now, a figure that I figured that I wouldn't want would be Thor, and I'm kind of digging this new look for Thor. I think this is one of those that I might be picking up. Completely new sculpt. This guy looks fantastic. And we'll also be getting Quake. I'll be picking this up because this will be an army builder for me. It comes with 2 head sculpts. I look at it like this. For all the additional head sculpts that I have for female characters just laying around in a bucket, I can buy a few figures, a few of these, and just throw in a new head sculpt, but then I'll have 2 additional head sculpts that's left to go right back in the bucket. And for the Build-A-Figure, it's the controller. And man, it looks fantastic. Really utilizes that Thanos mold. Very obvious. As soon as I saw it, I said, hey, this is the Thanos body, but it looks good. This is one of the times where I really want the Build-A-Figure more than the figures themselves. However, I do feel that this is a pretty decent wave. If you're interested in picking this up, I believe pre-orders are open February 22nd, and Marvel Legends sells for what, $25 now? All right, and now to end the show, we have to talk about NECA. While these other toy companies definitely dropped the hammer, NECA bought the lightning. Man, they just showed so many figures, so many reveals, so many things that blew my mind for NECA. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So the first will be Elton John. Who would have thought Elton John would be having an action figure? But for those who collect either Elton John items or the 8-inch soft goods from NECA, they'll be doing an Elton John that comes with 3 head sculpts. The sculpts look a bit off. However, this is Elton John in his younger years, which I really don't remember. And I believe Elton John comes with that piano. Yeah, that one right there. At this time, I do not have pricing or release date. So for the sarcophagus that was shown a while back with the mummy reveal will finally be coming out. And man, this thing looks fantastic. It's going to stand about 9 inches high. And it comes with a smaller chest. And I think there's another chest which fits inside. I will be picking up at least 2 of these, as I will be using one to go with my Mumra from Thundercats to put in his lair. At this time, I do not have any information on pricing. However, this thing is scheduled to ship August of this year. So jumping into their Gargoyles line, we get full reveals, images of their Gargoyles. And we already saw Hudson looking fantastic. Now we finally get to see Broadway. I wish they would have given us some more images, but from what I can see here, it looks so good. And these figures appear to be more detailed to match their cartoon counterparts than Goliath was. So I'm pretty happy with that. We also get Brooklyn and Lexington. At this time, no prices nor release dates on these figures, though I feel they have to be close, maybe second, third quarter of this year. And now jumping over to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line by NECA. We're going to go ahead and break this up into categories, as it was just so much to talk about. So the first would be quarter scale, and NECA has shown their quarter scale Leo, looking fantastic. At this time, no pricing nor release dates, though you can expect this to cost what the other quarter scale turtles cost. I know we had Donatello, and I think Raphael dropped 2, right? So Leo should be the third one. Jumping over to their Universal Monsters lineup, we finally get full images of Michelangelo looking fantastic as the Mummy. With these figures, there's no question if I'm going to pick them up. It's just how many. Like, my son is already pestering me for turtle stuff, so it's, do I add him to one, and do I get 2 more for myself? One to have on, a Monsters lineup, and just one to have somewhere else in my turtle lore. So no pricing, but I'm pretty sure it should be around $35. No release date as well, though I'm confident that this figure should be dropping at some point this year. And now let's jump into their cartoon lineup. So let's go ahead and talk about some characters that we saw not too long ago on their, what was this? I think they showed a poster, and on the poster it had certain characters. So let's talk about the Rock Soldier and the Crooked Ninja Turtle goons. We'll be getting them in a 2-pack. I think that's pretty dope for those of us, particularly who want to army build. If you're interested in picking up this set, it will go live on the NECA's website on Tuesday, February 22nd. It will be up there for 2 full weeks, and it will cost you $55. At this time, I'm not sure if NECA is allowing us to buy more than 2. Hopefully so, being that these are army builders. I'm going to have to add a few packs. My son already wants one, so I'm probably in the area of 6. So moving on to another 2-pack, and that would be Zack, the 5th Turtle, and Smash. So, wow, you figure with the Crooked Ninja Goons, they had to throw in the leader. Now, in all transparency, I don't really remember these guys. Not sure if they just didn't appear in a lot of episodes and sort of just left my memory, but really don't remember these guys. That's still not going to stop me from buying them. So for this one, I will be picking up only one set, I think. And just like the other 2-pack, this will be going live on February 22nd, lasting for 2 weeks, and will cost you $55. Now, for a character that I do remember, and ho, am I so happy that he's coming, and that's Usagi Yojimbo. Very happy that this figure is coming out. Definitely going to need more than one, and he comes with some cool accessories. The one thing that I'm unsure if he comes with, it's this portal. I don't know if he's coming with that or if that was just placed in a diorama. However, he does come with a soft cloak. If you're interested in picking this up, this will also go live on the NECA's website March 8th, exactly 2 weeks after the other 2-packs come off of the site. No idea on pricing at this time. I'm thinking maybe $35, but I don't know for sure. And even though that this wasn't shown, the neutrinos will also be going up on the NECA's website March 8th as a 3-pack. I do not have pricing to share at this time. Continuing on with Turtles, but moving to a different iteration of the Turtles, and that's from the Mirage Comics, and we'll start with Fugitoid. Again, being fully transparent, Fugitoid, for me, my recollection of this character is from the 2012 series. I don't remember him. I don't think this character appeared in the original cartoon. And yes, I haven't read any of the comics, so I don't know Fugitoid. The next character, oh man, is the Utrom, and man, this thing looks great. I need to pick up several of these at this time. We don't know when these figures will release or pricing, but I need to get this. And then we get Renee or Renette. I remember this character from the 2012 series. Looks a bit different here. Here, she reminds me of a Masters of the Universe classic figure. Like, this can just slide right in there, or with the NECA Defenders of the Universe, whatever that line is. So if you don't want to put it with the Turtles, you got somewhere else to put her. And then we got a Casey Jones teaser. We see the mask, his golf bag with some few items in it. I need to go and see what the Mirage version of Casey Jones looks like. And then typically with NECA, it's usually older stuff when it comes to Turtles, but now they're capitalizing on The Last Ronin. No. That figure is from Playmates. But this one, look at the one from NECA. Whoa ho ho! And on his back, he's able to store several accessories. Man, this thing looks fantastic. And they'll be giving us two versions. They'll be giving us one that has that shell exposed. Definitely picking up both of these characters. And with all that information, you think it would be it, but no, we actually have more Turtle news. Turtles based off the Archie comics. Man, I didn't even know that this was a thing. So we have this version of Slash. Really like this dark green, the way that the teeth look here. By the way, I'm picking up all of these figures if I haven't mentioned it yet. So you get Ray Fillet looking great. Didn't know about this version. I'm really digging this head sculpt right here. I'm thinking with this character, he can go in with some of my other underwater characters such as Aquaman. Really cool looking figure. And then we get Jaguar and Dreadmon, two characters that I didn't even know were characters. Now these two look really silly, particularly the Jaguar. But when has that ever stopped me from getting an action figure? And just to end this off, we have this sign posted in the Turtles lair that says, Turtles Van Garage, stay out. Very happy that if they weren't going to show us a van, that they at least gave us this teaser sort of saying that, hey, it's coming at some point. Hopefully that coming is relatively soon. As I passed on that Super 7 one, I just felt that the price was too high, and I didn't think that it was worth it. Doesn't mean that later on I won't change my mind. So this was a very long video. However, it was all full of toy news. If you missed out on any of the things, hopefully you got to see most of it here. I'm pretty sure there's tons of stuff that I missed out on. I was going to say maybe I'll shoot another video next week, but there is no guarantee. Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Clip's Toy Shop. I hope to see you during the next episode.